we got in the Major League Fishing April 2021 Champions Club box. Let's take a look at it. What's up, everybody? Hey, if you're brand new to fishing or just looking for some tips, tricks, reviews, how-tos, the occasional unboxing, you've come to the right spot. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the Champions Club box from Major League Fishing, pro tackle from pro brands. That's right, this is the one subscription box that's actually put together by Major League pros and the brands that support them. Now, you guys know I'm not big into the whole subscription box things, but 30 bucks is 30 bucks, and you get quite a bit of stuff from the pros, Major League Fishing. So hey, let's take a look and see what we got this month. Start out with some stickers, Major League Fishing, Tackle Warehouse. Oh, you can win a chance to be in a General Tire commercial with their Bass Pros. That's kind of cool. You get the Champions Club discount card with various discounts from places like Tackle Warehouse. Let's see, this month we got a discount code for Ducket Fishing. 50% off their Paradigm reels, it looks like. $10 off G-Force Conservation Cull System, Generation 2. 20% off some Wiley X sunglasses. 20% off a day trip lunchbox with Yeti.com. Now on the back, what Tackle Warehouse does is gives you a scan code that will take you to a page where all these baits are. And that way, if you want to refill after you've enjoyed them, you can get some more. Pretty cool pairing up with Tackle Warehouse. We also have a card, and we talked about this last month. Berkley is going to be doing a Champions Challenge. It says, as a Champions Club member, put your skills to the test using a featured Berkley bait for a shot at winning loads of free products each month. And it's kind of ironic since there's no Berkley baits in this month's box. But hey, there was last month, and there probably will be next month. Now let me pause for a second. Go to MajorLeagueFishing.com. I love that format. I love their tour, their series, and their pros. I love the fact that it's about how many fish these guys can catch a lot of the times. Got an autographed Ot Defoe picture from his recent win. This one was from Sam Rayburn in March. Now, one of the things I really like that Major League Fishing does, if you go to their page and go to the Champions Club, you can scroll down, and each month you'll see the list of all the baits that came in the box. The Bass Pro that put the bait in the box, so to speak, and the Bass Pro will list out what kind of rod reel they throw it on, the technique they use to fish the baits. But one of the other things that's really nice is the fact that one of the guys at Major League Fishing's media department will interview all of the Bass Pros. Some of them are driving on the road to the next event. Some of them are tying on tackle. Some of them are actually out fishing, getting ready for the next tournament. But they will discuss each of the different baits. And there's a video that's associated with each month's box that's between 45 minutes and an hour long, where those pros go in depth about each of the baits. And that's really cool because these guys fish for a living. It's not like they're, just weekend anglers like me going out and getting the, baits and doing a little review and this and that. These guys fish for cash, and that's how they make their living. So whatever baits they're using is what they're trusting to catch them winning fish each and every month. So it's kind of cool. But they discuss why, the seasons they fish them in, and all those kind of intricate details that a touring Bass Pro really, really knows. I mean, I know what works for me on my home waters, but the difference between me fishing my honey holes and these Bass Pros is they're out on public waters that get hammered by anglers every single weekend. Plus, they're out competing against 100 of their other top-ranked buddies every week. So the baits that they use, the baits that they choose, it's not just about who's paying them to fish a certain bait. If they can't catch a fish, they can't cash a check. And they got house and boat and car payments just like everybody else. So, I mean, it does mean a little more hearing about these baits from these pros because it means just that much more. So, let's get into what's in the actual box this month. Now, first up is an early season favorite, the jerkbait. This one is from Yuzuri. It's a 3DB. Suspending jerkbait. This one's in a gizzard shad color. Looks very lifelike. Great when that water is still cold in the 50 to 55 before you hit that 60-degree range where they really start getting active for the pre-spawn, when they start really loading up on bait fish before they go on the beds and don't eat for a while. But jerkbait in cold water or cool water, and a lot of people throw these actually seasonal as well. But I mean, that's a really detailed paint job on this Yuzuri suspending jerkbait. It's a 110. Great early season start. And this month's box actually matches up with this April to May transition. Now, I know the guys down in Texas, Florida, and the guys down south, you guys are basically a month and a half ahead of where we are in the Midwest and up north. Obviously, we all live in different regions, so each of these baits, you know, impact people a little bit differently. The jerkbait in Florida, maybe not right now, but in the Midwest and north, it's that time of year. Next up, the bait I caught my first fish of the year on in still cold water. Swim bait, Saucy Swimmer from Guggen Squad. This one is a 3.8 inch in magic shad color, a little more greenish, better for clear water than stained, but a good early season bait. If you've got clear water, you want to throw this either weightless or with a slightly weighted hook, or one of the hooks with the underspin on it. Great early season bait. Now, a lot of people will put these as a trailer on like spinner baits or chatter baits. I don't really use them for that. You could put this on a spinner bait if you're doing like a more natural color in this color here. If you wanted to throw this on like a bladed jig, I would suggest cutting the paddle off of the tail or rigging it upside down. I just prefer to cut the paddle off because I want that snake motion at the end, not a paddle that was going to counter what the blade up front is going to do. But I actually prefer this. I don't really like throwing these particular on bladed jigs. I save these. I fish these themselves the way they are on a little weighted hook, and it catches fish. Again, first fish I caught this year was on a white one of these right off the bat. Next up, another good early season slow presentation for us when these fish are still lethargic and just starting to pick up. This one is in green pumpkin. Again, for me, a clear water or slightly stained. If the water's slightly stained, I will dip the tips of these claws in some chartreuse to give it a little contrast and give the bass a little something else to target. You can fish these on the back of a little juicy jig or a juicy jig, or fish them Texas rig by themselves. Great baits, early season, slow presentations. Now, I believe these are the newer versions that are like 3-inch versus the 4-inch that I would generally throw later on in the season when you kind of get into that summer pattern and things again are slowing down again, but you're after big fish where you're actually punching those lily pads, weeds, things like that. But another good bait to start with. Now, next up are two baits that kind of make me apprehensive about recommending these boxes for bank anglers, and I will caveat with the exception of those who have access to boat docks or fishing piers, someplace where you can walk out on the water and cast along the bank instead of from the bank out deep coming back in shallow. I don't really recommend crankbaits for bank anglers. I save them more for those who have a kayak or a boat, but like I said, the exception to that is those who have boat docks around that you can walk out on, or like fishing piers, things like that, where you can go out and cast along the bank at like a 5 or 6 foot deep, area, and reel it along that bank and then pull it back up to you. But let's take a look at these two offerings. Same crankbait, two different colors. Now, these crankbaits are from Arc. They're 3 to 5 feet diving crankbaits. They float, so you can always slow your retrieve and float the bait back up to the top if you get around rocks and whatnot. But the detail on these things are amazing. This one is great for those clear water presentations when you're really trying to mimic the bait fish in the forage that are in the area. But it's so lifelike. I mean, that is really amazing. This one is colored, they call the blueback herring, which is really nice, but man, it just looks so natural. Of course, the eyes look cool too, but that's more for us than it is for the fish. Now, the next one is a fan favorite early in the season and a little bit of stain color, that red crawl. Again, you can see the detail is absolutely phenomenal. Another good early season or stained water choice when those bass are really loading up on those crayfish getting ready for spawn. But again, if you have a kayak or a boat, more good options. So that's one thing I really like about these boxes. Again, it's only 30 bucks. I tire of going into my local Walmart and seeing these mystery boxes full of, whatever baits. And they way overcharge for what you actually get. For this, what you get for 30 bucks, all the discount code, 5 to 6 quality baits every single month. I mean, guys, these aren't junk. These are quality damn baits. plus the discount codes, plus the access to, the videos from the pros actually discussing how they fish these baits. That's pretty awesome. And for me, I'm collecting baits for when we take the veterans at the VA Dom fishing later this summer, but I'm putting together tackle packs. And I can take these and hand them to a veteran with a spinning rod and take them to any park and have them cast them out into the water and catch some fish. That's the whole goal. And these, I can do the same thing. I can tie them on a spinning rod, hand them to a veteran who's on a Heroes on the Water event in a kayak, and just say, cast them out and retrieve. Let's catch some bass. So again, I'm putting all these baits to work in different ways and getting the same results. Getting someone out, getting them into fishing, and hoping they can catch a nice bass and make a memory for themselves. So what do you think about what Major League Fishing is doing here? Discount codes, quality baits, $30, videos on how the stuff works. Seems like a great combo to me. Do you do the subscription box thing? Who are your favorites? Drop me a comment down below. Tell me what baits you think are good from this month's box or last month's box. Now, my favorite comment from last month's video came from Michael Wright, and I'll post it right here. Michael, email me, fishingwithgramps@gmail.com. You're this week's winner. I'm gonna send you out a little tackle pack. Again, we're here to promote bass fishing, build a community, have a good time. So make sure you drop me a comment down below. If I like your comment, you'll win next month's giveaway. Until next time, get outside when you can and make a memory. They last a lifetime.